Moab escapes. Edom escapes. Right? In Daniel, isn't that who escapes? In Noah's day, there was a flood for 40 days. And there was also waters upon the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. Moab, well, Richie from Boston, he seems to want to help Moab. Like, almost like he's helping them move and escape. I wonder if that has anything to do with the script that he's reading. Huh, Rich, is it? Does it have anything to do with that? 40 nights, Moab escapes. In Daniel, Moab's getting cleaned out first. Nah, it's just a total coincidence. Like everything else. It's too coincidental. It just... nothing lines up perfect like that. I mean, nothing ever did until now. But go your way, right? Many will run to and fro. Knowledge shall increase. Many shall fall because they're trying to make them purified and white. It doesn't mean you're gonna die. It means you're gonna fail trying to make these people purified. The wicked, they won't understand a damn thing. The wise will understand everything. Not the soothsayers. Moab's gonna escape. It's almost like saying, hey, you gotta be at our church on Sunday for the rapture. Because if you're not here, and our whole entire building goes up in the air without you, I mean, foundation and all, you're gonna regret it when you see that building flying up in the air, you know? It's kind of as ridiculous as that to say that Moab's gonna escape, like an actual Moab. This is the problem with reading the Bible literally. And look, I know, okay, Richie doesn't truly believe that. Do you, Rich? But it's the other layer that you have to see, which is the general public that would believe some shit like that. The people in the churches that still do believe that the church itself, the building, not the body, will float up in the air with everybody in it. And if you're not in that specific building, you are screwed. But see, that's what the elite do, is they do read it literally. They're going to play the Bible out as literal as possible because most people believe it literally. That's, again, it's another one of those purposes by God. Like, if you're not trying to listen to, you know, actual truth, well then stay with your own beliefs. Everybody's gonna find out anyway, and I think that's always been my message. Everybody's gonna find out. Some easier than others, some extremely harder than others. Whoever's the most hard-headedest, they find out the hard way. I don't know. I don't really have much to say until I start thinking of something to say. That's just the way it works. But no, Moab the place? No, no, no. What is Moab? What does Moab represent anyway? I mean, I know that just by in the Bible alone, the name Moab, right, doesn't look too well because it's a, you know, incestual son. But then Moab's going to escape. So you got to kind of ask yourself, why would Moab escape in the Bible if Moab in the literal world is, well, you know, it's, well, I've heard some rumors about Moab. Not that good. The rumors aren't very flattering. Yeah, I never even realized that that's what it meant. Flatter. Like, oh, please, I'm flattered. Like, when you say I'm flattered, doesn't that mean that you know that they're lying to you? And you're like, come on, I'm flattered. I always thought it meant something good until I got clung to with flatteries. Man, I'll tell you, when that happens to you firsthand, you tend to, like, really understand what it means if you didn't before. Like, to get the first-hand experience with clay clinging to iron. You know, iron, the least expensive metal. You know, people kind of look past iron like I don't know. I'd rather have gold. I'd rather have silver and brass. Or stone and wood. I mean, who wants iron? Iron, like, can get rusty if it just sits there. But man, I'll tell you, iron can smash some things in half, to pieces. Yep. You know, that 1,290 days from the, well, it's from the Elite script. It's from Obama and the Cornerstone being rejected at the same time back in September 24th, 5th of 2014. With that happened in the 1,290 days that landed on April 7th, because that's what got, again, everything's a continuance. That's what got the ball rolling with the abomination of desolation being set up to make it desolate. So because that continues, this is why I continue. Did that day come by, April 7th, 2018, and did that day go by and then more than usual ever on YouTube the very next day? Was there like a tremendous amount of traffic? Yeah, I'm asking the people that already know. It is a rhetorical question, and you guys know the answer. But wasn't it like there was a tremendous amount of clicks for World War III? The beginning of World War III. There was a lot of views with everybody talking about it, especially even ask Decoding End Times, he'll tell you. He did a couple videos about it just a few days after April 7th. So the point is, those 1,290 days from that timeline continues on because it fulfilled a scripture in Matthew 24:6. It fulfilled and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. But don't be troubled with this propaganda, because, you know, it's all fake, and the time's not yet. The end isn't here yet. So you're blessed to wait to the 1,335th day, you know, the 45 days afterwards. And it works, the numbers work. They have worked numerous amount of times in the Bible, and that's the purpose of the numbers, to continually work throughout the existence of our creation. I'll tell you what, it was a blessing for me personally to wait to the very full, the 6th full year, going into the 7th, May 21st, 2018. It was a blessing to wait until the floodgates opened up. And just telling King Neb about that little dream about the tree, you know, just letting him know how that tree's going to be chopped down, but your kingdom will still be given to you after 7 times passes over. And at the end of 12 months, that's when the king, that's when he heard that still voice in his head from God. No, we're not going to hear anything. I mean, you might, the elite, yeah, you will, but you're not really going to hear him unless you hear him in your spirit. So from that point on, 7 times has to pass over after those 12 months. So after those 12 months, well, it starts to become the 8th year, you know, greater than 3 kings, subduing and being greater than 3 kings, going into the 8th year and into perdition, by the way. Definitely a blessing to wait, to continue to be patient, continue to have everything possible in the Bible and in the world lock in place so tightly. That's a blessing. So that's why I continue on with April 7th. One more time. Here I go again. So I'm making another one. April 7th of 2019 will be the beginning of the declaration of World War III. And that's when we really have 40 days, you know, because 40 days, depending on, it's like, honey, is that bowl half full or half empty? Well, it's half, it's 40 days, it has 40 full ounces in there. If you're on the other side of, you know, it's half empty, well, you're going to say it's 40 nights. If it's half full, you're going to say 40 days. You're going to refer to things during the day if your spirit is full of light. If you're full of darkness and blind as a bat, you're going to be referring to things at night, things that are dark, because that's what you prefer, like a vampire. That's why you want to get rid of the sun, you know. I mean, it's one of the reasons. Only on us, though, really. I mean, everybody enjoys the sun. I think even vampires do. Oh, that's why Kleck made those glasses for vampires during the day. Yeah, I'm just a little suspicious now, that's all. Just a little suspicious. Kind of stealing my thunder, and I didn't even know it. It's like I'm saying these things first, and talking about getting a gathering together. And not so much being televised, but then again, I did say that, didn't I? I said, don't be surprised if you see my face on TV. And then this guy comes out saying the same shit. Talking about he's gathering people up, and Michael's helping him. It's like, and he's saying that he unrolled the scrolls. Is he trying to say that he's Jesus Christ? Huh? Is he the Ancient of Days? And is Michael the angel helping him? It's just interesting how people say that Michael's helping them in like every aspect. You know? Steve, same thing. Somebody named Michael was helping him. Some other Michael, I forget who he was, but with Kleck saying about Michael, and oh yeah, and then him being the angel of the Church of Philadelphia, it does rub me the wrong way. It does, because there's absolutely, it's talking to the 144,000. That is the Church of Philadelphia, the ones that have never denied his name, you know, once they became converted, because you don't deny his name afterwards when you have that kind of faith. So anyway, back to the vampires and the sun being taken away from us. It's just a way of playing God, controlling the weather. This stuff up here, this mist, you know, it's wet with the dew of heaven in the ground. And 7 times. It's just 7 times. 3.5 times. Steve gets a rule for a few days. And if I wasn't comfortable with everything locking dead in place now, well, then I wouldn't say it. If I wasn't truly comfortable with it, I wouldn't say it. And I would also say that, you know, it's a strong likelihood, possibility. I don't feel that way anymore. I don't feel like it's a strong likelihood, possibility. I feel like it is an absolute matter of fact, definite. Yeah, it's just a definite. So, I mean, write the dates down, you know. Take a piece of paper and just write down on there. Jot down today's date and just write down, you know, YouTube, Real Truth is to be shut down by the end of the Sabbath, praying that your flight's not in the Sabbath, 3-2-3. And then World War III is going to really start to kick off. North Korea. It's going to be, just put North Korea there, you know, against America. And then martial law being declared on April 1st. It's starting to get really hectic out here. And then the actual declaration of World War III being signed on April 7th. And then know from that point on, you got 40 days or nights, depending on which way you want to go. If you want to go to the dark side, you'll be counting for 40 nights. You want to go to the light side? You'll be counting for 40 days. And at the end of 40 days is the 18th, 17th, 18th. Friday, Saturday, May. But see, before that, everything's crumbling in the world. All these missiles and bombs and explosions and TV wars and everything. Everything's going to be really starting to crumble on your television set. And, you know, in real life, everything's going to start shutting down. But that's God's purpose for everything, is to start shutting down. And then, well, you have that rapture. You know, again, I'm just summarizing everything that I've learned. Every day that something else keeps clicking in place. If nothing's clicking in place, people, then you're not thinking. Or maybe it's just not your job to do the thinking, and maybe it's mine. But if it's my job to do the thinking, then it's your job to do the listening. Hear it. Just remember, hear it. Remember the dates. Remember the incidences, the events. Then that leads us to it leads us to the 18th, where Trump's going to get raptured up out of here. Okay? Man, you just wait until this starts happening. You're going to think one or two things. Oh my God, that dude was a CIA agent the entire time. Or, holy shit, I think God really did give him information. I mean, I'm talking about just regular subs that aren't in on one side or the other. Like you're not, you don't know the script. You know what I mean? I know the script. It's just there's only one big difference. I'm getting it from the Bible alone. When the Bible is the God of the living, and it's the Word of God. You see? And then throughout YouTube and reading more, and things click in place that way also. But when that starts happening, I kind of wish I was on the other side right now and I truly knew, because I know I'm rattling off some dates and some events, but to be the person behind the scenes that knows that those events are true, I don't care how your heart is. I don't care if it's good or evil. You're going to start thinking like, damn, that is what we're going to do. And the best part about that is knowing who I am. I'm just me. Praying for all the people in the world that they turn. And telling you that you guys will turn. And not even threatening you. So I'm not even threatening you that you're going to turn. I'm just telling you that you are. So it's like there's no harm done. Am I trying to roll with a rod of iron? Well, sure. That's what God gives you. A rod of iron. It's like, you better fucking listen to me, son of a bitch. I'm going to smash you in pieces. This is your silver and gold. Yeah, so, you know what I mean? Some people have too much information. And it's a little... I was thinking... It's like anybody, man. Who the hell can you really trust? But I was listening to some Kleck a lot lately, and him and his symbols and everything, and it's kind of like Call for an Uprising, same thing. You know, you guys get a big following. Yeah, I mean, you might believe in God somewhat, but man, you guys are playing around too much. If you're being deceptive in any way, I just wouldn't want to be on that side. I wouldn't, I'm not threatening you, right? But I'm telling you, some people might have it harder than others when God decides to flick the switch. I'm just glad I'm on this side. I'm on this side. So you got the rapture, you know, that they're trying to sell you, that you're going to float up and get out of here come at the end of the 18th of May. And then, you know, on the news, depending on who you listen to, right? You can live out in the woods somewhere and not even listen to the radio, and you don't even know what the hell's going on. Nothing. Or you could be on YouTube like me and know when I get shut down, and when the real false prophets rise up. So last year, I said nothing but false prophets will take over. April 28th, I think it was. April 28th. After war did start. But again, you know, it's 365 days ahead of time. Just, it's good to be ahead, and then just remind people about it, that you're already ahead of time. You got the right script. You just got the wrong date. That's all it is. And the ones that know that, well, they hire people to make it seem worse. Like, you didn't get the right date, Robin. I mean, yeah, right, fine. What happened, but still, it's the wrong date. You're a liar. You're a liar, false prophet. Duh. Get a freaking real job, loser. And then it's like, nah, I'm sorry. Look, I get a little mad sometimes there, little brother. You know what I mean? Might curse at you here and there. I still love you. It's just, you're just fucking annoying. You just think you know better and you don't. Because Father's telling me to tell you and you ain't listening. And most of yous are older than me. And that's the whole, it's like, that's why I have an older brother that's like my youngest. Because the mentality is young-minded, but he's older than me. So Noah, at the end of the 40 days period, that's when he opened up the window to ark. And for 14 days, 2 different 7-day periods. You know, he found out some information one way or another. One by sending the sign of Jonah, which is the name Jonah referring to a dove. So one is sending forth the dove. The other is the raven. At first, the dove didn't find any rest for its soul, you know, of the foot that has clay and iron mingled together with the 10 toes. At first, didn't find any rest because everybody's soul wasn't rested yet, because the waters were on the face of the entire earth, covered. The high mountains, the high hills, everything, everybody, every single possible thing in the world is covered. Spiritually, of course, not really with water. God already said he's not gonna flood us with water ever again, you know, literal water, as if he even did the first time. But whatever, I mean, it's called a flood, right? It's called a flood. It talks about water, so you'll just assume that it's literal water. So again, that's what the elite are going to do. They're playing that part out, because people, you know, if you're caught sleeping, then you're going to be caught sleeping. Everything in Daniel, everything in Revelation, everything in Genesis lines up pretty damn good. Just like the two witnesses. The 2 witnesses are, when they're finished with their testimony, right, the waters will be abated. The waters will be abated, according to the Bible, in the 2nd month, in the 17th day of the month. I mean, the elite know that that's May 21st, don't you? Some might think, well, maybe it's May 24th. I don't know, I think it's May 21st. It might be both. I mean, you know, might be one or the other. It's very close to each other. In other words, when you guys party for 3.5 days, and 3.5 days goes by, you're gonna kind of like party again, because you're gonna hope that's it, and then the next 3, and then you're gonna like kind of like try to almost party. So you're gonna be nervous the entire way. Every time you party for 3.5 days, you're not gonna like really thoroughly enjoy the party. But if you're looking for a good change in the world, you're kind of gonna be like Darius did, you know, when he threw Daniel in the lion's den. You're gonna kind of be like, I mean, I kind of hope, you know, I kind of hope Daniel was right. It sounds like a pretty good world, you know, with Daniel thinking about how you can just simply change the entire world just by having a plan. I have a plan. I just need people to fall in line and understand that this plan is actually way better than you could ever have dreamed of. But you got to have faith. And So the one way that I can get you guys to have faith in me and my plan is to tell you what's going to happen before it does, all right? And have me surveilled day in and day out, knowing that I'm just a poor, suffering servant, and I have to swing a hammer for a living. I don't really get to tell people what to do, not yet anyway. Can't just build a house with my mouth, literally. I mean, spiritually, yeah. I got like mansions. You see all these mansions right here? Tons of people already in them. We're just waiting for the we're waiting for the approval, you know? That's all. We're waiting for the approval of the furnace to be heated 7 times. Like, come on, can you heat it 7 times already? So we can go through this thing? Can you throw us in a den of lions so we can shut their freaking lying ass mouths? I'm ready to get thrown in the lion's den so I can shut their freaking mouths up. And then let's move on already. You know, all I'm waiting for is time to go by now. The events are there. Martial law is coming. World War III is coming. The fake rapture is coming, because the true rapture, the first one already happened, which was the first death, which is the first resurrection. The second death has no power over me, because I'm not going to die twice. I already died in Christ. My head has already been chopped off for holding on to the testimony of the Word of God. I've already been given a white robe. I've been resting for 7 full years almost, that little season. Just waiting for it to pass by. It was a blessing to wait to the 1,335th day when the floodgates opened up, and then continue to walk with God for the next 365 days until the waters are abated, until those 2 witnesses are finished with their testimony. And then after 3.5 days, the breath of life enters into them, and then the sky opens up, the sun shines, God shines his face upon the land of the desolate. And then the elite say, oh shit, this is true. And then, you know, you got 7 times to think about it, to really let it digest. Like, all right, well, okay, fine. Look, this is the direction we got to go. We were told. It happened. Let's just start, let's kind of give the guy what he wants, all right? I mean, why fight it anymore? I mean, when you're right, you're right. I mean, when you're wrong, boy, will we tell you how much you're wrong. But when you're right, Robin, and you're finally right, for real, for the last time, okay, hey, whatever.